In today's video, I'm gonna teach you everything you need to know to become a hybrid athlete over the age of 40. If you're over the hill and you're over the age of 40 and you wanna get lean, you wanna start performing better, and you wanna do some of this hybrid athlete stuff that you see starting to float all over the internet, this video is gonna map it all out for you. So let's just jump into the first thing that needs to be done. All right, so the hybrid athlete over 40 program begins with the foundational principles that I teach all guys who wanna get in better shape. So step number one is we wanna get lean, right? It's pointless to start training for athletic performance-based goals like high rocks, DecaFit, Spartan races, 10Ks, half marathons, if your body composition is all out of whack. The first thing you need to get done is you need to get lean. You need to get into athletic, lean shape. For most guys, this is gonna be somewhere between 12 and 18% body fat. Now, I've made countless videos on how to get lean. In fact, I'll put a link in the description to check out the #1 video that has gotten the most views that will teach you how to get lean. But we gotta get our body fat down. Now, we can start to sprinkle in some hybrid training, which we'll talk about in the next parts of the video as you get lean. But if your body fat is over 20%, you just need to jump into a fat loss phase. Fat loss phase to get your body fat down into a place where you can perform better, your joints feel better, your body, your digestion, your mental state, everything just feels 10 times better because you're healthy, right? You have too much inflammation at a higher body fat percentage. You have too much going on internally that's gonna prevent you from being in your ultimate athletic, hybrid athlete type of shape. So the good news is, if you're a guy over 40, well, I have countless examples of guys over the age of 40 who have gotten super, super lean following what we call our 3M system. I'll touch on it very briefly just so you get an idea of what needs to happen. The 3M system is really, really simple. And it goes like this: movement, muscle, meals. You need to master all three of those. You need to move the right amount to burn enough calories to lose fat. You need to have a muscle building program in place where you're getting stronger over time to boost your metabolism, also look and feel your best. And then of course you need to master your meals. This is your calories, your protein, your carbs, and your fats. Now, I have a whole guide that will teach you exactly how to do that. Plus, I have a metabolic assessment to see what areas do you need to focus on the most. You can check those links out down below, but it's the first place we start with all of our clients. You gotta get your body composition, your habits and routines all in a place that will allow you to succeed when it comes to going after some of these bigger performance goals. So that being said, becoming a hybrid athlete over 40 requires a couple different tweaks to your training. So let's jump into the muscle and training side of being a hybrid athlete. Now let's talk about training. So over 40, hybrid training. Let's get a couple basics out of the way. Number one, I would never stop doing strength training. Strength training though is just a fancy way of saying bodybuilding training, right? The bench presses with dumbbells, the curls, the push-ups, the pull-ups, all the things that keep your body operating at a high level with strength. But we want to start sprinkling in some endurance training. Now, endurance training is a whole rabbit hole. We could go down for hours and hours and hours. Maybe I will on a future video. But the thing with endurance is we gotta build slowly. So many guys jump into running, rowing, ski ergs, all the different cardio pieces of equipment, the bike, and they try to just go for gold basically, right? Maybe they're a former athlete, maybe you're a guy who at one point tried to run and maybe had some success, maybe didn't, but ultimately you just went out too fast. You got hurt running because you started to accumulate too many miles, right? If you don't like running, I think the best thing to understand here is that you don't have to run to be a hybrid athlete. You could do cross training, you could do swimming, biking, maybe you sprinkle in some running because there's a lot of cool challenges out there that include running. But the #1 piece of advice I can give you is start small. Just sprinkle it in, right? Even if that means running for a minute twice a week, run for half a mile once a week. Build slowly. The rule of thumb is you never want to add more than 10% week over week to your total volume of endurance training, especially running. You might be able to get away with doing a little bit more biking or rowing, but the safe bet is stick to that 10% increase. Now, the last thing with training that I want to talk about is fast recovery. Now, there's something called learning to run under duress. And this happens when you do things like a high rocks event or a DecaFit, or heck, even sometimes when you're out running a 10K and you have to run up a hill and then you got to come down the hill, and there's kind of different variations in elevations and intensity levels go up and down. Being able to recover quickly during hybrid events where there's strength training, there's, functional work, think like, wall balls or CrossFit style burpees or whatever, where your heart rate goes up really high for short periods of time. And then you transition into more, zone 2, zone 3, moderate intensity cardio, like running after doing something super high intensity. Being able to recover quickly is something that will benefit you tremendously, not just with being a hybrid athlete, but with health, right? Getting your VO2 max to be at a higher, healthier level is what we're talking about here, right? So we want our body to be able to recover from high intensity work as fast as possible so that we can bring our heart rate down, we can maintain a good amount of output without running into the wall, okay? So what does this mean for training? Well, it means we need to sprinkle in some higher intensity training session. A lot of people refer to this as HIIT, high intensity interval training, which could be part of your training, and I'd probably recommend doing some HIIT. But the way I like to build more like recovery focused or fast recovery focused training sessions is to do workouts that require me to go at a high level effort for short periods of time, followed by some moderate cardio to bring my heart rate back down. So this might look like intervals where I'm doing, burpee broad jumps for, a minute, and then I'll go run at a moderate intensity pace for 4 minutes to recover. Then I'll come and do something like, lunges with heavy weight for a minute, right? My heart rate's gonna go really high. Then I'll come back to maybe rowing at a moderate pace for 4 minutes to recover. We just wanna get our bodies, really our cardiovascular system to a point where you can recover quickly without stopping, right? That's gonna be a huge asset in your fitness reservoir, in your fitness toolbox. Okay, let's talk about training seasons. I don't think anybody talks about this, but this is one of the things we do with our clients that I think everybody should do. If you're interested in learning more about how we actually help guys over 40 completely transform their bodies, most guys feel like my wife is hot and I'm not. And I just hate not feeling good with my shirt off. So I want to get my body back. I want to feel confident again. I want to be healthy, but dude, I want to look really good in the process. The first thing we do is the season number 1, which is what we call the before and after season. If you're trying to do 10 different goals at once, it's really not going to work. By the way, if you're interested in learning about our program, you can go to the description of this video. There's a few links, a few different resources for you, one of which is our elite transformation system. This is where we build all this out for you. But let's talk about the seasons that we take clients through. This is really important. We might have a season, call it 3 to 6 months, where we're just focused on getting lean, right? We're not necessarily worried about performance. Performance will improve as we get leaner, healthier, and more fit. This season allows us to dial in our laser focus on a bullseye, in this case, getting lean. But I think all athletes will do really well with setting up their training in seasons, just like pro athletes, right? You're not playing professional sports year round. You have an off season, you have a strength and endurance building season, and then you have an actual performance season where you're training for the actual sport and playing the sport. Life can be the same exact way. Even if you're not a professional athlete, you're just a guy over 40 who wants to look good with his shirt off and be an athlete in some cases, right? Go out and do things with your body. So there should be a phase every year where you just work on maintenance, right? You just work on maintaining your fitness. You're not trying to aim for anything specific. There should also be a phase where you're getting a little leaner. You're chipping away at maybe some of the fat that you accumulated during holiday season, during, busy season or whatever at work. There's also a season where you're really going after a goal. This might be multiple seasons throughout the year. It might have, 2 12-week blocks where you're going after a performance goal. Maybe it's a high rocks race, a DecaFit, endurance event like a marathon. Then there could be a phase where you're just working on your weaknesses. You're getting stronger, both from a muscle standpoint and an endurance standpoint. There's no end goal except improvement in how you actually perform in the gym or in whatever, choice of activity you're participating in. The good news with this kind of season approach is you never get sick and tired of fitness because there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. There's always the next goal that you're accomplishing. And if you do this the right way, every single year, you're knocking out 3, maybe even 4 goals that just improve who you are as a person and just give you solidification and more authority around your fitness, more control, more assertiveness around who you are, right? You walk into a room, you've done really hard things. Work begins to feel less and less challenging. Your marriage improves. Your relationship with your kids improve because you're leading by example, number 1. You feel really good about yourself. You're confident with your health and they're seeing you do things and they're proud of you. Like that feeling is really, really awesome. That feedback from the people closest to you is incredible. And you can get that by following this season approach. Now, I'm about to show you a full breakdown of a week in the life of a guy over 40 who wants to be a hybrid athlete. Before I do that, one thing you got to get right is your metabolic health. So check out the link below in the description of this video to take my metabolic assessment to show you exactly where you are, where there could be missing links in getting healthy, getting fit, getting ripped, getting lean. If your metabolism's not healthy, everything I'm telling you now really doesn't make sense. So we got to get that done first. That's in our before and after photo phase, getting you metabolically healthy, getting you lean, getting you to a healthy body fat percentage where you look, feel, and perform really, really well. Then we can get crazy and start doing some really fun stuff, which I'm about to show you. So let's break out the full plan. 3 times a week, a strength-based workout makes sense because we want to leave enough time throughout your week to knock out endurance training. Now, strength workouts, we can talk about specifics, and I will share specifics if you download the 3M Action Guide below. Get into the email list, I'll share more really cool stuff like this. Endurance workouts twice a week. One easy, long duration, low intensity, one more challenging, right? This could be a number of things. This could be like the intervals we talked about. This could be doing more tempo runs. Over time, you might find that you need an extra endurance workout per week, and you might do a day where you do like a 20-minute strength workout followed by a 30-minute hard endurance workout at the end. Doesn't mean you need to train more than 5 days a week. I'm just giving you the layout of what needs to get accomplished, all right? A lot of my guys only train 4 days a week, sometimes even 3 days a week, and we just minimize, we knock out the bare necessities with strength and the bare necessities with endurance, all right? On the other 2 days, we wanna be active, but we wanna have active rest days where all we're really doing is hitting like a step goal for the day. Maybe some mobility work, some stretching, some core work if you have the time, but it's just about staying, at a healthy activity level, not going crazy and running yourself into the ground. Most of the guys I work with in our elite transformation program aren't guys who have a lot of time. They're busy with families, they want the weekends for the family, they got work meetings, they got travel, they go out of town, here and there, and they want to be able to maintain their fitness when they're on the road. So I don't want to give them stuff that requires an enormous amount of complexity or an enormous amount of time. Believe it or not, we can knock all these workouts out in probably 3 or 4 days. We just got to structure the time length appropriately. So you might be in the gym, do your strength workout for 20 minutes, do an easy run for 30 minutes, right? That's one day. Day number 2 could be strength workout for 30 minutes, a challenging endurance workout for 30 minutes. Day 3 could be a strength workout followed by another cardio workout, right? And then that's 3 days a week. And then you got 4 days a week of active rest and recovery. A lot of ways to build this out. Really just comes down to your lifestyle, which is where I want to end this video. Ultimately, there's no limit on what you can do over 40. If anybody tells you there is, they're lying to you, or they've just put those limits on themselves and they're trying to pass them on to you. Don't buy into it. There's a lot you can do. Life really just is starting at 40. You have so much time. So I'm going into my 40s and I plan on absolutely dominating who I was in my 30s. And I hope that you'll join me on that journey. Next steps, if this video was helpful, check out the description of this video. I'll even put a link in the comments to take our metabolic assessment. Everybody we work with starts here. This is where we figure out, why are you not losing weight? Where do we need to fix your metabolic health? Get your metabolism operating at a high level. The world is yours. Fitness will become easy for you. Then we just got to build something that's sustainable, enjoyable, and easy to follow. That's where our coaching comes into play. Not everyone's a great fit for coaching, but ultimately we can help you no matter who you are just by giving you some resources. So check out the resources below. If this video was helpful, leave me a comment. Let me know what part helped the most or what you agree with or maybe disagree with. And I'll make future videos on the topics we talk about. That's all I got for today. Life moves fast. Make it count. I'll talk to you on the next one. Peace.